interesting news going on as we get people lined up to come on in to the third Florida Panthers fans have their say live stream. Looks as though we already heard earlier that Denisenko and Tierney were sent down, and just a little while ago came up that Spencer Knight is being sent down to the AHL, and Alex Lyon is coming up. So that needed to happen. That needed to happen. I think that's something. I have not heard one opinion contrary to the popular opinion that Spencer Knight needs some time in the AHL. I hate to see it for him, because I thought we had been there, done this last season where he had his struggles and went down. Now, they haven't said it's going to be for the rest of the season, but I can't imagine that he would come back up, unless, of course, that's going to be an interesting it's going to be an interesting thing to see what's going to happen if the Panthers do make the playoffs, depending upon, how Spencer is playing at the AHL level. It's just going to be, well, do you bring him back for the playoffs or not? So that's definitely something that we can talk about. And then, of course, we're going to get Duke back, and we're going to get Bennett back on Friday. And we've got that big game against the Sabres coming up, and they lost last night. And they got to play the Lightning on Thursday before they play us. So they're going to have played 2 games before we play again. And we're going to get them on the second of the back-to-back. To say there's no excuses, that would be a massive understatement. So, all right. Without further ado, we have a couple people already lined up and ready to go. Let's see. Paul, I'm going to go ahead and hit with you first, brother. You know what? I'm not going to do anything without my headphones on. So pause for station identification. Oh, I see. Let's see. I'm getting a notification here from StreamYard that it's not streaming to Facebook, but that's fine. I got to be right back, guys. Give me 30 seconds. My dumbass left my headphones in the other room. Stay there, buddy. Stay there, okay? Stay there. All right, we're coming in now. Let's see. I just got to get this. I've got this error on my screen that's coming from StreamYard. I need to see if I can just get rid of it. I don't need to see it right now. It's just okay. There we go. Hey, Stu, Raven, Clarence Speaks, Rosado. Everybody's ready to go. And all right, Paul, you ready? Let's do this. All right, let's see here. Hey, bud, how we doing?
What's up, Jazz? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got a little bit of that's on my end. It's not too bad. I guess you're using your speakers. Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to wear some headphones?
Well, that would help, but I can. It's fine if you can hear me. I can hear you. It's a little bit of an echo. It's not the end of the world.
All right, no worries, man. I'll make it as quiet as possible in here. But how's everybody doing? How you doing, Jazz?
I'm good. I've been working all day, man. I cut a couple videos for the new channel that's coming out tomorrow. So I started with that, and 2 days in a row trying to get the dogs to the river. It's pouring rain and it's cold, and it's just not working out for me. So they've been promised that tomorrow It's going to be 74 degrees here in Maryland tomorrow. So
74 degrees. Wow.
74 degrees. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So winter's over for you guys. That's it.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So, all right, man. So, what do you think about what's been going on? What's this team doing for you?
You know, Nostradamus, man, strikes again. Finally, they listen to you and Stu, and they send Knight back down to the AHL, bring up Lyon, get Dennis Go back down to the AHL. I mean, unfortunately, man, every time that kid comes up, he doesn't really produce much. So Tyranny, the same thing. So they're making the moves that they have to bring up Duke, which I think is going to be an awesome move. Hopefully, he comes out on fire, man. So, and speaking of fire, I think Stu is on fire with those cigars, huh?
Yes, Stu. I think he smoked them all in about 5 minutes.
Oh no, it's not an unlimited supply. That's awesome.
Oh,
but the Panthers. Honestly, tomorrow I'm going to be a Lightning fan for the first time in my life. They're able to beat the Sabres, and then they're basically we're just waiting for the Sabres to come here, and we got to take care of business, man.
What do you think we're heading into? Do you think we're looking at like missing by 2 points? Do you think we're going to be able to pull this off?
Man, I've been pessimistic all year, so I'm trying to be an optimist. So I just want to see them keep on winning, man. They better come out on Friday and give it their all. They've been off for a few days, and you know how that happens. They come out sluggish. They need to play a full 60, man. If they can't do that, then we don't deserve to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. Me, you know what I predicted to start the season, so I'm sticking with it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Hey, it'd be awesome to see us get into the playoffs and make some noise. It would justify the hiring of Maurice and the system he's trying to implement. I still think we're a few players away from what he wants to do. And again, man, I'd like to see more out of Barkov. I mean, you highlighted that in a podcast. I mean, he's only got 16 goals this year. It's like him and Hubi are missing each other. Do they need to be reunited in Calgary or?
Well, like I said at the end of the stream the other day, the live stream, somebody suggested, Barkov to Calgary. And I said, if they think Huberdeau passes too much, wait till they get a load of Barkov.
Well, in one way, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, imagine if somehow Huberdeau makes his way back to Florida. He's just not happy, in Calgary. They make some kind of weird moves. Hey, anything can happen, man.
Hey, Luongo made it back.
No, it's true, man. No, but I don't think we're going to do anything at the trade deadline, man. That's my opinion. I don't think we're going to make any major moves. Like you were saying, dude, and you're on point. Duke, that's like hitting a 30 goal scorer in a trade, so we don't really need to do anything else. And if we are able to make room for him and with all the cap issues, hey, man, my hat's off to Zito. If I had a hat or hair, I'd be like, Zito, you're a genius, man. So, I'm just sitting back and waiting to see what happens,
Yep. Same as all of us, bud. All right. Any last words before I let you go?
Stu, don't smoke all the cigars so fast, bro.
I almost spit out my water. Stu and I, we lack. There's a word for it. We lack patience.
No, I hear you, man. We're Dolphins. We're Dolphins and Panther fans. We're the most patient people in the world.
Good point. Perfect. All right, Paul. I really appreciate it, bud. All right. Thanks for all the support. Big, huge support of everybody. Seriously, right, Paul, big time.
Let's go, Panthers.
Yep. Have a good night, bud.
You too, man.
All right. So, Stu, you're here. Let me remove you here. There we go. Okay. So, Stu, I'm going to send you. Is it? I think that was only when Paul was there. I think because I think Paul, it happened last time with Paul's as well, but I don't think, is it still echoing now? Because I'm not hearing it anymore. I heard it with Paul, but no echo now. Okay. So real quick here, because we don't have a whole lot of people lined up here. So Stu, I'm gonna send you the link. So if you felt, oh, that's not the link. Hold on a second. Bear with me, guys. I never know how many people are going to arrive, and just bear with me. Right now, I only have Rosado lined up here, so I'm gonna send Stu. I'm gonna send you, brother Stu, the link. And if you felt like coming on, you can, because right now I only have Rosado in the queue. Did I send that? There it is. Okay. All right. I'm going to come on back. And all right, Rosado. Yeah. All right. So Stu's ready. Okay. So yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I should throw the link in the chat at this point. I mean, everybody here is members, but I'll go ahead and do that. I wasn't sure the first few times how many people would show up. I didn't want to overdo it, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna. There's the link. Yep, I did it go through. Yep, there's the link. All right, so Rosado, you ready, brother? All right. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You?
I'm good, man. It's 40 degrees today. It's going to be 74 tomorrow, and then by Saturday, it's going to be snowing. So it has just been crazy here, and I'm happy that we finally got some good news about Spencer Knight, man.
Yep.
You know,
definitely.
That definitely had to happen, man. So all right. What do you got for me, Rosado? Give me some Panther insights on what's been happening, what's going to happen, and what would happen if you were in charge.
Well, first, if I was in charge, I would get Jesse Pugliarvi from the Edmonton Oilers for Colin White and Nick Cousins, because Jesse Pugliarvi is a talented kid that has potential that can burst out here, like the Sam Bennett trade and the Verhaeghe signing. I think that could happen.
Now, what's his salary? How much is?
I looked on Cap Friendly. It said $3 million, but I'm pretty sure if you add Nick Cousins and Colin White's contract, it's $3 million altogether. So
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know if they would do it. We might have to throw in something more. But where do you see him slotting in?
Maybe on the third line when Duke gets his speed back up, maybe with Lundell.
Yeah, and that's the thing with getting Duke back is now we kind of have to figure out. All right, Stu, just give me a second. I sent it over Twitter, brother. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. You know, now with Duke getting back, that is going to kind of shuffle the lines a little bit, and kind of had enjoyed the prospect and the idea of Lundell being with Barkov. And for about 2 games, it looked like that was going to be fireworks, right? But the reason why that was going to work was because Barkov passed, Lundell shoot. Barkov passes, Lundell shoots. But what's happened is the more Lundell has played with Barkov, he's passing all the time again. He's been Hubertoized. You know what
Huberto
I mean?
2.0.
Yeah, exactly. So getting Duke back, to me, I was looking at this in the podcast yesterday. I would like to see Lundell go back to 3C. But then when I thought about it and I looked at the roster, one of the reasons why it's nice having Lundell up there on the top is we are really short on left wingers. You know, that's their natural side. You remove Lundell from the top line, and you're looking at, you know, kind of looking at maybe Luosterainen being the next, you know, on the second line in terms of if you want to have a natural lefty over there. So you still seem to be one player short, but to your point, if we could make that move, you never know what's going to happen. What do you think about the Bennett or Reinhart trade rumors?
No Sam Bennett, please. No Sam Bennett getting traded. Sam Reinhart, maybe. But he's our like fourth goal scorer, right? And then we can't. I don't think we should because we are really lacking goal offense right now besides Sachuk and Verhage.
Right. I'm emailing you the link right now, Stu. So there you go. You should get it any second now. So yeah, man. The thing about it is that I've done a lot of the shows talking about looking on down the road. And one of the other things I realized was, when I was looking at who would he have to move around in defense to maybe possibly make room for Duke, salary-wise, moving guys around. I realized that probably one of the reasons that we got Fitzgerald is he's a righty. And if you look at our AHL roster, there's like 2 right-handed defensemen and just like a bucket list of like a dozen left-handed guys. So it's interesting how we haven't really drafted and developed many players at all, but we haven't really kept things evenly in terms of wanting guys on the left, guys on the right. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's even a right defenseman on the AHL team, is there?
I think there's like 2, but they're none of the names that we're really looking at that we would think are going to be developed too much in the future. What's your take on what we should do in terms of Gudis? Because that's a big decision coming down.
I'll say probably paying $3 million and pay Gustav Forsling $6 million.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what both Forsling and Montour want, because right now, I mean, I've said this before, I can't believe it, but right now, both of those guys are getting paid less than Eric Gabranson. Okay? Both of those guys are getting paid less than Eric. So that's the first thing when they go into negotiations is like, we're starting with, I want $1 million more than Gabranson, right? And then, they may have the right to say they want more money than Uyghur, right? I mean, if going into contract negotiations, they're going to have they're going to have the ammunition to say, hey, look, you got rid of this guy. We filled in for him. And now, pay up. And I think that's why, they like Maher, but I think that's why Maher only got the one year. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how much they're going to have to pay Forsling and or Montour, right?
Yeah.
So you say $3 million. Nerfil says let Gudis walk. Don't pay $3 million to a bottom pair demon. So, Stu, right now I don't have your camera up. Right, I'll bring you in, but I'm not seeing you. There you go. All right, so Rosado, as always, I really appreciate, bud. All right, and don't worry. Eventually, you'll get your status back as moderator. The channel might revolt against me, but we'll just give it time. It's almost like you cheated on the woman. You know what I mean? Just give her time. She'll heal.
I just gotta say one thing.
Sure thing, bud.
People in the chat, go to manscaped.com, use code FlyingFluffy, get 20% off. Your wallet and balls will thank you. Okay?
I love it. I appreciate that, Rosado. Genuinely, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
man.
buddy. Yep. We'll see you again tomorrow. All right. Later, buddy.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? Should I here? I'm gonna post the link again. So there's this guy. There's this guy, Stu. Should I let Stu on? What do you think? Yes or no? All right. So now this is a show for Florida Panther fans. Are you a Panther fan?
You can bring other people in, by the way.
Yeah. No, I know. Here,
boy. What do I got on here? Oh, I got my fancy schmancy hat.
Let me get this right so I didn't have our names there. So there we go. All right. Much better. All right. So once
Well,
again,
I'm on the StreamYard because it's live. Should I go
Yeah.
to YouTube?
no, you're fine. You're
You
fine.
could read the chats to me.
Yeah, right now, everybody's saying no, don't let you on because you're a punk.
Okay. I got to go to the doctor tomorrow. I got to get tested for COVID.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I've had this 11 days. It's in my chest and it ain't going away.
Right. Well, look, you'll live, right?
Yeah, well, God willing.
Am I in the will?
Give me some antibiotics. Anyway, so Chikrin, Arizona is asking for 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick,
Wait, there's more?
and they said if they don't get their price, they ain't trading them.
Oh, my. They want 2 1s and a 2?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Come on. Is this guy, I mean, he's good, but come on now.
And whoever said Barkov ain't going nowhere, man. He's got a no trade.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really, weren't really being serious. We were just giving him grief at the end of the last string, at the end of the last stream. You know what I mean?
So Dino watched our last video and he said those guys are right.
Yeah, that's usually what happens around here.
Nights and playing time. Lion can do the job.
Yeah.
I forgot about Tierney. I thought it was going to be Colin White, but you're right. Tierney waived.
Right.
And
Denisenko sent down.
And Denisenko, I knew that was going to happen when Duke come back. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then, hopefully Knight can get right down there. And then really the only question after that is, how's he playing, right? And if we make the playoffs, there will be a little bit of a decision there to make. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to send him down now to get his game right, but if he goes down and he's playing well, it might be a kick in his nuts confidence wise if he gets left off the playoff roster, considering how his career started. Yep. You know what I mean?
Well, he did it to himself. Well,
you know what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
He did it to himself, but he was put in a very, very hard position.
Right.
Not playing.
Yeah. Right.
And expecting him to be the stellar goalie that he is. Because he is. We know that.
Well, when he plays, right.
It's a confidence thing right now.
He was getting all that ice time, and then he got hurt and sick, and then he's just not going to be a guy that can come in, not yet anyway, that can come in and, come in off the street, so to speak. So you mentioned that we can add people in. You want me to add Frank? Frank's here.
Yeah, sure. And
all right.
I'm more concerned about Barkov right now because Maurice said he's pulling him off the top line because his hand has not healed yet.
Is that right?
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's going to be really interesting to see what he does. So we're going to go with a top line of Bennett, Duke, and Verhaeghe. Right? No?
Lundell.
No? Interesting. Who knows? We'll have to see how that's going to work out. All right, Frank, you ready?
Oh, by the way, Luosterainen is going to have Duke on the wing. I forgot who's on the left wing.
Okay. So I'll have to see. I'll have to look at that. I can't unmute.
I'm happy we're getting Bennett back. Frankie, yes.
Frank, it's telling me your mic isn't connected. Can I hear you? No. I got no sound from Frank.
Nod if you can hear us.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us, Frank. Frank's not hearing us. So, all right, let me take him out. Let me see what's going on there.
Did you connect him?
Yeah, he's connected. He's looking right at me, but their StreamYard was telling me that his mic's not connected.
While you're trying to
while I'm fixing that, let me
course, I watch the NHL Network all the time, especially when Billy's on. And there was a graphic put up. Mason Marchman hasn't scored in 27 games.
Really?
Yep.
Jeez.
27 games. That's at least a couple of months.
Yeah, I mean that's at least.
Maybe 3 months.
Okay, so Frank must have had to reconnect. Jeez, man.
Yep. Poor guy.
And they paid him.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a 4-year deal, right?
I think so. Hey, Rosado, by the way, Forsling agent's going to ask for 7.
Oh boy.
If Uyghur got 7, Forsling, excuse me, Forsling's worth that.
Right.
If we get him for less, great, but I don't see that happening.
Right. So let's see. Frank says he's going to come back. Mr. Vids, I don't see your picture, but I'm going to let you on. And then, so if you're ready, Mr. Vids, I just don't have a picture of you, but if your sound is ready, here you go. You're on there. Can you hear us?
Mic check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you. All right.
Awesome.
Turn your camera on if you have your camera off.
Unfortunately, I don't have a webcam with this
Okay.
PC setup, so
No worries, bud. I
Okay.
understand that.
yeah, finally good to speak with you guys after watching you for all these years.
Yeah,
Welcome.
right. Yeah, you've been around for I think you started
Welcome,
watching
welcome.
before we started even putting out videos.
I was. What was it? Because I used to watch Lucas, Rats on the Ice, and it was through him. That's how I found your channel.
Yeah. Lucas, good guy. I still talk to him every once in a while. He's enjoying life. Not making content. He's every year I bug him.
Not getting upset.
Right. Yeah.
For his health, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, there's just no doubt about that. There's no, you have to be Cocoa Puffs. You know what I mean? Look at what it's done to Steve Dangle for
I was going to say, look
16 years.
at the two of us, Eric.
Exactly. Just look at my beard from the time I started to now. Okay.
You got any questions?
Yeah.
Gosh, I just what do you think our chances are with the rest of the games that we have? Can we at least get a wild card? Can we do it?
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
Let's be realistic. It's going to be tough.
Gotcha.
If they play like shit, and they just have to come out and take it to them and take one game at a time. And they can't be looking at the standings, which they're going to do anyway because we're all human.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I said it earlier. I mean, we all know what I predicted, right? So I'm going down with the ship there. Honestly, I'm really hopeful that they can make it because, and I know Raven's going to laugh at this, but I'm not afraid of Boston.
I'm not either, Eric. I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Boston.
We beat them twice this year.
Right.
Out of their 8 or 9 losses.
We've got to win the head-to-heads. We've got 2 head-to-heads against Buffalo. It couldn't be set up any more better. It couldn't be better for us against Buffalo. They played last night. They're playing again tomorrow against the Lightning, and then we've got them Friday. So they're going to be on the second end of a back-to-back while we've been rested for 3 days.
Eric,
if we can't win that game, then we don't deserve.
Eric,
what's that?
Watch out for Detroit. They're 6-1 in their last 7 games.
Yeah. I'm not.
And Capitals must have begged Ovechkin to come back because he practiced this morning.
Oh, snap.
Oh wow.
They must have saw that the team was falling apart without him.
Did he have a set amount of time that he said he was going to be gone, or I guess the insinuation
he was going to be gone an indefinite time. I bet you his mother said, "Get back. Your father wouldn't want you sitting here mourning, grieving, whatever."
Yeah. That's a tough situation, man.
For sure.
So you definitely can't leave him out. So, Mr. Vids, if you were in charge, what do you think's going to happen, and then how does that differ from what you would do?
With regards to how we're
It-
running things for the Panthers, or
Yeah, in terms of like any player movement before the deadline, any is there anything sticking in your craw with I wish this guy would play with this guy, etc.
not so much like lines and stuff like where people who are playing with or who they're partnering with. My just thing is like the head coach. I think depending on how we do, if we shit the bed with this season, we don't even get close to the playoffs. I think we need to have some coach, and I forgot the guy's name. It's just off the top of my head, who coached the Rangers when they won the cup. We need someone with that mentality.
Keenan?
Keenan, yeah.
No fucking way.
I knew that was going there. I'll let you
Keenan
handle
played
that
at
one.
Luongo. Okay, he's an asshole.
He
He
Sorry.
did. Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh wow.
I will forever hate Keenan because of that move. Over
Yeah.
$500,000.
Jeez.
Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah.
I brought the wrath of stew.
Yep. You said the right thing at the right time. The thing with Maurice, I was giving him a lot of grief earlier in the season. Then the Toronto game happened and he lost his mind. And I said, okay, he can at least, in my mind, buy himself the rest of the year. I mean, obviously, I want this team to make it for more than the reasons of us. I want us in the playoffs because I just don't trust what they're going to do in response to us not. If we didn't make the playoffs, I don't know what Zito's going to do. I don't know what Viola's going to ask Zito to do. I don't know if Viola's going to say, well, clean house completely, or we're going to run it back and bring back everybody again next year. And, you look at the East, I mean, just our division. I mean, it's the top 6 now for a while. You've got the top 3. I mean, then you look at the next 3, it's Florida, Detroit, and Buffalo. It's not like these are bad teams. So this division is going to be so competitive for so long. And you see it, last year, if somebody would have gotten 99 points, they've been out of the playoffs. You needed 100 points to get in. So it's so top heavy. I just for the sake of, I know I joke and I say I like chaos, but just for the pure fear of what the hell they would do if we missed and then didn't, started off next year and didn't make it, we look poor. This is, I say it and then I'll let you have your mic back. But this is my 7th season doing these recaps. This is the 6th coach. I'm tired of it, man.
Same here. It's just ever since Gallant left, it just went all downhill. I just wonder what would have happened had he not taken that cab ride after that one game in Carolina. Where would we have been in that position? There's so many what ifs, but we're here now. We got to make the most of the situation. Get that 7th or 8th seed, and kick Boston's ass. Sorry, Raven. Because I'm a when it comes to football, I'm a Pat fan. So
right.
Well, if we get the 7th spot, we don't play Boston.
We would be playing. Let me see, Hurricanes.
Yeah, not interested.
Nope.
Not interested. Not at all interested in that series.
No, we play Tampa or Toronto. It's an
as the 7th
division first.
That's what I thought too. But then somebody reminded me that we played the Capitals last year.
Right.
So it's not
right.
guaranteed
Okay.
that. I made the same mistake. That they corrected me in the same way.
Okay.
But yeah, Paul's saying, Paul, I guess it's I don't know why with the echo over there. I'm reading the chat there. So all right, so I think we got Frank lined up, ready to go. Mr. Vids, I really appreciate it, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I gotta get some water.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Stu.
Thank you. So always good talking with you, Stu. And always talking with you, Jaws, man. And I just saw your new video about the shark attack, man. That was some entertaining stuff.
Yeah. It's all true. It's all true. I don't have to make any of this stuff up.
No.
You know what I mean?
I had a similar incident, but it wasn't a shark. I thought it was a shark. It turned out it was a manta ray.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. No, I don't think. I wish I wish, but I saw the shadow coming. I knew exactly what it was. I just pretended it wasn't happening, right? I mean, come on,
That's the
right?
perfect mentality, right?
37 years of being warned about something. When it happens, you ain't gonna believe it. Come on now.
It's like, nah,
Right?
not me. It'll never happen to
Ain't
me.
no way, man.
Out
All
comes the
right,
bull
bud.
shark. But yeah, take care, guys.
Yep.
Have
All
a
right,
good
bud. We'll
night.
see you later. Take care. Bye. All right, I think we got Frank. It looks like your mic is ready to go. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Frank. He's good to go. And yeah, there we go. I can hear you now. Hear you and see you.
All righty.
All right, bud. So how's life treating you?
Oh man, you tell me. Look, I don't know if you wanna. Can I be a little selfish right now? I mean,
Where is that?
it's in my mansion, you know.
It is in your mansion de
Actually,
bachelor.
I'm at work right now, so I'm all, about 30 minutes I get off, so
Gotcha.
chilling.
Well, life's not treating you. Look like life's treating you okay.
I can't complain.
You can't complain. All right, that's good. All right, Stu. I know you got questions for Frank. Go for it.
All right, Frank. The Duke comes back Friday. Where do you put him? And how many games do you think it's going to take before he gets in a rhythm?
Well, Bennett, that's the easy answer. I mean, last year, right, was the 9-1-1 line with Huberdeau and Bennett and Duke. So you gotta put him back with Bennett because that's where he's comfortable. I think he should have been back earlier, just to see where he's at.
Me too.
Just if he was like, I think a few weeks ago, he had the no contact jersey off. Like, he should have been back a little bit earlier so we can see his progress, so we can see where he's at, But, yeah, just throw him in with Bennett and Kachuk or Hagee. I mean, pick your poison. So, but we'll see. We'll see what he has. I mean, we know the speed of Duke. He can finish. He can shoot. So, unlike Barkov and Lundell, they're passing all the time. Like, Duke actually shoots the down puck. So,
Well,
but, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just I don't know how it's gonna be because they're throwing against Buffalo. Buffalo's a tough team. It's not like it's like Arizona or the Hawks. Like, they're fighting for a playoff spot just like we are.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get physical out there. So we'll see how he handles it. I mean, I don't know.
well, let's see how they do against the Lightning.
Yeah, that's the Sabres play the Lightning on Thursday. So,
Yeah,
that's
I have a feeling they're gonna wake up because they just got thumped by the Leafs like 6-something. So again, they're like in the same position as us, just trying to get points at this time. So we'll see.
well, it is going to help that we're going to get Bennett back. You could definitely feel the difference, in the ambiance around the team without Bennett these last couple games, which is why when I think it was Frank Saravalli a few weeks ago was telling everybody on Twitter that Zito had some backroom deals for Bennett and Reinhart already cooked up. And, first of all, I haven't predicted it. So Zito doesn't even have approval for that yet. Okay. He's got to go through Stu and I first before he makes any deals like that. I told him possibly Reinhart over the summer, but the return needs to be good. But Bennett's not acceptable. This team absolutely needs Bennett,
Agreed.
Yeah. So what about our defense, Frank? What do you think? I'm gonna assume you're on board with locking up Forsling and Montour long term.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to. They're your best two defensemen right now. I just think we're a little slow on defense. Like, our defense is not the fastest.
Right.
And if you pay attention in the games, they're getting beat to the puck. Like, Montour and Forsling are the only two guys that have some wheels out there.
Right.
Mahora, he's okay, but he's not the fastest guy. But if you just focus on the guys, on Gudas, Mark Stahl, Ekblad, they're getting beat to the puck. And I don't know. I just think we need some just some speed, like a guy that can just take the puck from end to end. Um, but again, we have like no space. There's no cap. We
Yeah.
can't do nothing. We have to just stick with what we have.
Yeah.
I would like to see Carlson back. Well, like just give like Stahl like a few days off or something, and just put Carlson in.
Oh, R. Carlson.
Yeah, not
Gotcha,
Eric.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that's hell no, not him.
Well, you know,
But,
it's interesting that you say that, because when Ekblad was out, they had called up Kiersted, and he looked fast. He was noticeably fast out there on the ice, and it looked like that's something he must have worked on, because he wasn't really noticeably fast when he was out there, you know, in previous episodes. And I mean, the question, you know, with it all is Gudis. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but I kind of get the feeling like if we was gonna extend him, we already would have, you know. And
he's showing his age a little bit, not on the physical side, but on the speed side. They just has no speed. And
right.
But we need him for the fear factor.
No, that absolutely. You know, when he's on the ice, people take note. Like
Absolutely.
Right.
so. But hey, it's gonna be a grind, and you know, I think we need to make some moves, but within you know the Panthers, like just get some speed, man. Like this team is slow. Like our transition has like gone down from last year to this year. Like we look so slow compared to last year.
Right. But Frank,
Noticeable.
Frank, it's the same players. There's only been a couple of players that have been added. You know, your core group.
Right.
You know, I'm
Well,
not like you know, like into hockey, like the playing style, or I don't look at that stuff, so I can't really speak on that. But like, it's noticeable that our speed in the transition is not there. Like not there like it was last year. I don't know what's going on. Could be the coach, could be the playing style, maybe. I can't say, you know, I'm not a coach, but it's very noticeable that it's just not there.
The transition from defense to offense and getting on the rush shouldn't have changed with Maurice's style, because Maurice's style is basically dump and chase and win the battles. Last year it was freewheeling.
Right.
So I just think it's execution, and we're not executing like we did last year.
Well, not on a consistent basis. I mean, part of it, you know, we talked about this through the other day, is, you know, you take a group of guys that's used to playing run and gun like they did last year, and I just wonder, did Maurice clue them in? Because, you know, we saw Barkov come to camp bulked up, right? But he seemed to be like the only guy. Did Maurice clue them in when he was hired to say, hey, look, we're going to play this hard physical style. Y'all need to get, you know, bulked up in the gym and get into shape? Or did he only like express that to Barkov and then the rest of the guys? Because it just doesn't feel like, you know, even Kachuk has been, when he's had rest, he's, you know, like a bat out of hell, and then he kind of tails off a little bit to what Frank is talking about. He's not the fastest skater, right? We knew that going in, but that's not his game. But I think there's been a combination of a couple of things. If you just look at it on defense, I mean, you look at the Ekblad's been slowed by the injury, right? Okay, so now you still have Forsling and Montour, but you know, Uyghur's a decent skater. Where now you're throwing, you know, Stahl out there, you know, in terms of numbers. I'm not saying Stahl replaced, you know, Uyghur, but in terms of numbers, you know, he's nowhere going to be near as fast as Uyghur. And then, you know, Mahura's decent, and Gudis hasn't, you know, as long as Gudis is quick enough to recognize and use the hockey IQ and quick enough to recognize where the play is going, he's able to you know, to catch up. But if he's been at the blue line a few times, and yeah, he's not the quickest guy to turn and swivel his hips and come back. But then that's the other part to Maurice's system is the forwards have to back check. Forwards have to come back and some nights they've got the legs and they do that, and then other nights you see guys just that half a step behind. And one thing I've noticed is that when these guys, when they get to that half a step behind and it's obvious that they've been beaten, the forwards I'm talking about, they're not turning on the afterburners to try to catch up. They're just letting the guy go and figuring, okay, we're going to let the defenseman, take care of it. And then they're coming in later. So you're not wrong for what you're seeing on the ice. I just wonder how much of it is energy conservation. I wonder if Maurice is telling these guys, look, once you're beat, if you know you're not going to catch them, let the next guy get them. Don't expend all your energy trying to catch up to a guy that you're not going to catch up to. So I'll give you the last word, Frank.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration that your goaltending hasn't been there all season. So you kind of letting your goaltending out to dry if you just don't even pressure the guy. Have a presence just behind him. But then again, we can't catch up because there's
another factor, guys.
What you
the
got?
Defense tends to pinch a lot. And if there's a turnover, that's when they get beat.
Yeah. How many times Ekblad has been caught?
Oh, forget it. He's slow as molasses.
Right.
But you notice Forsling is a guy that catches up and breaks up the play.
Yeah.
Speed. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Consistent.
Eric called it. The key to that is that the offense, the forwards got to come back and stay on their men. That's when we get beat. We leave guys all alone. Especially in front of the net. The defenseman can only do so much.
Yeah, that's how either the first or the second goal the other night that we gave up. We were screaming at the TV and the stream long before it even happened. We're screaming, just leaving the guy wide open on the side of the net. Hey, cover the guy. I mean, and that was Barkov and Lundell. And I don't know if they just got their signals crossed about who was supposed to cover who or whatnot. But it's been very inconsistent. And the games that we've won, like Stu has called them, Jekyll and Hyde. I think that you could probably go back and look at the games, the difference between the games that we've won and lost, and probably pick apart the forwards more than anything in terms of them coming back and back checking and everything like that. And that's the one thing I'll give Barkov credit for. Last week, he's been crazy good defensively, coming back and stealing the puck from guys who think they've got an open shot. And getting Duke in, that's just going to be what a shot. It's going to be a huge shot of energy. We're going to get Bennett back at the same time. We're going to get Duke. And,
I'm anxious. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say we're going to have to figure out, because what Stu was saying was that Maurice is saying that he's taking Barkov off the top line because his hand's not healed yet. So we may not even get a real true picture of what the lines would have been, because now I assume with Barkov, if he's moving down, I assume Bennett would then be 1C. I hope he's not thinking he's putting Lundell at 1C.
Lundell or Luskerainen. I think they're going to keep Bennett and Kachuk together. They work good together. I'm anxious to see if it is Duclair on Bennett's line. Kachuk seems to know he's got really good hockey IQ. He seems to find people like he always seems to find Verhaeghe. Watch Kachuk feed Duclair.
And again,
that's a good point.
Duclair is a shooter, so he's not gonna be passing out like all the other guys. That's why, I think that line it's gonna work. And Duclair, Bennett, and Kachuk. So.
Yeah, we really need to to contribute.
Yep, and he'll fix the power play too. That's the last thing.
Yep,
he'll fix the power play. Hopefully, it'll change the entire dynamic, because right now in that right circle, you got Barkov, who's never shooting. And, the defense cheats because they know he's not trying to get a one-timer off. You know what I mean?
I
And
still say pull Ekblad off the power play.
Oh, we agree, man. We agree. Forsling or Montour.
Let even Montour take that spot.
Right. Yeah, Montour just he can't keep he can't keep the puck on his stick for more than a half a second. I mean, he's just like boom. As soon as he gets it, he's shooting. It's like I love it. I love to see it.
And he can
Ekblad used
skate.
to be.
So,
What's that?
and he can skate. So if you see him on the power play, he moves from side to side, never stands still. So
Yeah.
It's
But,
gonna
we'll
be
see.
it's gonna be curious to see what Maurice does.
Yep.
We
So-
don't know right now, but we will Friday.
Yep. We'll know Friday. So any last words for us, Frank?
Oh man, it's just it's gonna be a grind. It's gonna be heart palpitations.
You're not kidding.
So I don't know. I have a feeling if we do make the playoffs, I think we can do damage because look at our schedule. It's tough. It's a tough schedule. If we
Right.
manage just to sneak in somehow, maybe that momentum, knowing that what we went through to get to this point,
Right.
maybe that can serve as as I guess momentum going forward. But
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. It's not over yet. I mean, we're right there. So
And the other part to that, to your point, yeah, we've played so many more games than everybody, right? But everybody else, if we can make it in, obviously, we are going to play in this last month 5-6 fewer games than most of these other teams. So we're going to be in this odd position. I'm not going to say we would be going into the playoffs fresh, because obviously Boston might have an opportunity to rest some guys, but we're not going to have been that. That may be the one thing that gets us over the line. Is, I mean, like I said with Buffalo, we got 3 games off. They have 2 games before they even play us again. You know what I mean? So
There's another factor,
what's that?
very important factor. We got all these home games. So the players
Right.
are seeing their wives, they're seeing their kids, they're sleeping in their own bed. They're, not in the hotel. Just,
Right.
It's big.
Yeah.
And
no doubt.
they got the home crowd. So
Right.
that's one advantage that we have down the stretch.
No excuses. So,
No
all right,
excuse.
Frank, we really appreciate it, bud. Thanks for all the
all right,
support.
guys. Thanks for
All right,
having me.
buddy. We'll see
Go
you again
Cats.
soon.
Yep. Take care.
All right, so we got just a couple minutes here. We got a couple questions in the chat. I saw Raiku 7 and a bunch of 7s. I hope I said that right. Says, what do you guys think of this new game system the Panthers are playing? I live in Finland, so I have to wake up pretty late to see the Panthers play, and it hurts to watch these current games. Stu, what do you? I mean, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it.
When we execute, we and score goals, we win. Bob's doing his job.
Right.
Obviously, the defense has to tighten up. The penalty kill has to be important, and we need the power play. The one thing we've lacked in the last few weeks, I mean, we were on fire in January, and we went down in the toilet in February.
Yep.
You don't have a power play in the playoffs, you lose. Obviously, look at last year's Tampa series.
Right.
But now's the time to do it. If we get a goal or 2 goals, that could be the difference in these games.
Yeah. Amen. I got TK here. I don't have a camera for you, but I'm gonna go ahead and add you, and we'll see if you can hear us. TK, you there?
Check.
All right. Yeah, we hear you. But
Yeah,
no,
I'm at work, man, so I can't use the camera.
No problem, bud. No, that's okay. Stu and I got the good looks department covered for everybody. We got everybody good there. So, how you doing, man? Good to finally hear the sound of your voice. You're on the stream just about every night. Really appreciate that. So, what do you got for us tonight?
I wish I had something cool to say. But just saying, hey, yeah. I mean, you know how rare it is to find actual Panthers fans.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, they're not hard. They're not easy to come by. So just saying what's up.
I was looking. I saw something earlier, and it just made me think about it because I half-ass bitch and complains. I've been doing this for 7 years, 6,000 subscribers, right? But
Right.
It sounds small, but then some of the other numbers of the channel, it's just like the amount of support I get for the size of the channel is just astronomically off the charts. And I actually looked at Dangle's channel, and because I saw his recap came up in my field and in my frame.
Because all of Canada's watching his thing,
Yeah, but the thing is, it's 16 seasons, right? And
is it 16?
This is his 16th years. I mean, 16. I'm saying I've done 7, so he's done basically 10 more years for me. He still hasn't hit 200,000 subscribers, and I mean, I know he's got 199,000. I guess the point I'm making is that hockey is just such a smaller market overall than some of the other channels. You know what I mean? And or some of the other sports, but
it's not very popular.
Yeah, the Panther fans may not have huge amount of numbers, but absolutely diehard rabid, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get a lot of eye rolls, like, "Oh yeah, I watch hockey," and people just kind of, they head for the door or something, So it's great to listen to Panther fans because they're really hard to come by. So, and you guys know what you're talking about, so that's even more rare. So,
Well,
and you guys aren't homers, so that's pretty cool. So,
yeah, no, neither one of us have the ability. You start off that way, you know what I mean? But
right.
but eventually, and
Call it
Stu,
like it is.
go ahead. Yeah. I was gonna say Stu will say he calls it like it is, but Stu, talk about a little bit of your history and your transition from how you became a Panther fan from what you were beforehand.
Hey. All
And
right.
I don't think everybody knows the
Islanders.
story.
Yeah, but before the Islanders, it was the Rangers. I went to my first hockey game in 1965.
Wow.
Okay, so I was 7 years old. The Islanders were born in 72. I lived in Plainview, Long Island, and became a loyal Islander fan, and we suffered the first couple of years. We were horrible. And then we drafted a guy by the name of Dennis Potvin. And then we drafted a guy by the name of Brian Trottier. And then we drafted a guy. What's that?
Yeah, Denny Potvin, yeah.
And then we drafted Mike Bossy. And then you had guys that were there from the beginning. You had Billy Smith. You had Gary Howard. You had John Potvin. You had like core guys. And my story as far as being the stick boy, and I've told it before. So I had a friend by the name of Chucky. And Chucky had a house that had like a kind of like a side or like like an apartment that was like connected to his house. And Jim Pickard, who was the equipment manager for the Islanders, lived in his house. So I got to know Jim. And what happened was Chucky went into the Army and had to give up the job.
Was he drafted?
Excuse me?
Was he drafted? That was that time.
No.
That was that time.
He worked for Jim in the, the equipment manager.
No, he's saying was he drafted? Is that why he went to the military?
No, I think he enlisted. So anyway, Chucky asked his brother if he wanted the job, and he said no. And Jim and Chucky said, "Well, what about you?" And I was, I think, 15, maybe turning 16. I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
a hell of a hookup right there. Holy.
Yeah, well, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Billy and Randy coming on our channel. I know those guys for 30 years.
Oh.
So, anyway, so I didn't really work the games much. I worked practices,
Yeah.
but what I did for the games was, I used to get there at like 3:00 and I'd cut oranges. I would take the pucks and put them in a bucket of ice. They didn't have the coolers that they have now. And then, after the games, I would do laundry. I basically was a glorified gopher. Whatever they needed done, I did. But I'll tell you, the one perk that I had was in the summertime, you had your core group of guys like Nystrom, Lauren Henning, J.P. Parisi, Andre Solaron, Bob Bourne. You had like Billy Smith. You had all these guys Gary Howard, that lived full time on the island. And if they were short a guy, they'd say, they knew I played hockey, and they'd say, "Suit up." And I'd be like, and I'm playing with the Islanders.
Right.
So I
Just
got
a
really
kid.
friendly with Billy Smith, and he taught me a lot.
I thought you couldn't skate.
No, I played. Eric's got pictures of me in high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay. So you can.
I was pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah, I was actually a better roller hockey player than an ice hockey player because I had trouble stopping on one side. I could stop with my right skate first,
Right.
but the other side but I was very fast. I was very skinny. In fact, I played college hockey. All right, so then what happened was in fall of '76, I went to college. And but school ended in early May. So I was there when we won our first cup. In fact, the Grateful Dead, who was a big Deadhead, played like a couple of nights before the Islanders won the cup. So, of course, I was in the locker room and, drank from the cup and went to some of the parties that were at, the Nystrom's house and whatnot. And in fact, the next year I moved out to LA in 81. No, 80, I moved out. Actually, I moved out in August. So the next year, the Islanders came out to play the Kings. And it was like 2:00 in the afternoon or 3:00 in the afternoon. I walked down the ramp and went into the locker room and saw all these guys. So that was my Islander thing. Then I moved down here in 89. We didn't have hockey. And then, of course, it was announced, and I was at the press conference. I snuck into that one. Actually, I didn't sneak into that one. I kind of, sort of, but Bill Torrey was the GM of the Islanders. And he became, he was the first president of the Panthers.
Those Panthers, right.
So I actually played with Bill Torrey's son in a rec league. So, of course, he knew me and whatnot. In fact, I probably could have went to work for them from the outset, but I had a really good job that I didn't want to leave.
I thought you did work for him. You were you selling tickets or something?
Yeah, I did later on, and
Right.
started working for him in about the end of the 14th. It was 2014 season or 15th season, and then I left in September of 18. But
Stu was there from the beginning. That's
Wow.
I was there. My starting being a fan was the day that Heisinger got the franchise.
Yep. So you can't get sooner than that, man.
Yep.
All right, TK, you got any last words for us, bud?
I hope we make the playoffs, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of pessimistic. I mean, I don't know. Just I would love for us to, but I don't know. Just the games in hand from Detroit.
You're not pessimistic. You're a realist, just like me.
Okay, I'm being a realist. Who else? Buffalo, I think, and Pittsburgh. It's just like
Capitals,
Caps.
We got a big mountain to climb.
As long as they just keep winning, but I don't know. You just hope for it.
combination of winning
See how they
games
play.
and getting some luck from some of the other teams. That's
Right.
it.
All
I
right,
don't know.
TK. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I'll catch you later, man.
Okay, bud. We really appreciate it. All the support. We'll see you again soon. Okay, bud?
Later. See ya.
All right. Later. Okay. All right. Thank you, Brother Stu, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Now, Rosado already did the Manscaped commercial, but here I just want to mention at the end, I want to appreciate Manscaped for being the first sponsor for the channel. Really, I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. When I was 15 years old, I took a razor and I went into my parents' pool and I shaved my whole body with that razor. And then what I did was I put on, this is like summer, right? Because I was going to go bodybuilding contest. I put on my jeans and I put on a long sleeve shirt. And then I went over to my girlfriend's house and there was a reaction. We'll put it that way. I don't know. There was a little bit of a reaction. And I've been trimming ever since. And I'm telling you, the Manscaped products, the trimmer, it takes years off my. It adds years to my life. With it's so fast, and if you watch some of the reviews on YouTube, there's some people that have said some negative things about it, but I'm not so sure that they've been using it, because I had one guy say, I don't know why you would ever need a light on this thing. And that's not somebody that's used it. So head on over to manscaped.com, use code FlyingFluffy. You get 20% off, free shipping. Really, really appreciate that, Manscaped. And we got one more. This is going to be the last guest of the night. Did I say that right? Yeah. We got Nick over here. True. All right. It's going to be the last guest. And we're getting ready to give me the thumbs up. You good? There we go. There we go. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
What's going on? Hey, brother
man.
Stu. Man, I had my camera.
Nick.
I thought I had my camera on. I wasn't in the room. I don't know what the hell I did.
That's
Us old guys, we don't know this technology shit.
It changes every 30 seconds.
My language.
That's okay.
So I got a bunch of stuff written down, but you guys have pretty much covered everything. So I mean, wherever you want to go with it, it's up to you.
Follow up.
I'm gonna say goodnight, guys, because it's 8:00 and I haven't eaten dinner. So
hey, I haven't eaten dinner yet either.
Yeah, me neither. Well, we'll be fast.
Talk to Nick.
Stu, get some rest.
Yeah, I'm still sick, guys.
Yeah. Go.
Vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin
I'll
D.
keep you posted on the COVID situation.
Yep.
Don't let them stick that test up your nose either.
Well, how else do they take it?
Well, you can do it yourself, just a quick swab, and don't let them stick it all the way in your brain.
Yeah. I got a home test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So.
All right, Stu.
Anyway, good night, guys.
Feel better,
good night, everybody.
Yep. All right, bud. Just you and me for a couple minutes. Here we go. All right. So, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. It froze up for a second. That's all.
I went and grabbed one of my sticks from back in the day. This is back when they made them out of wood.
Oh, wow.
This is signed by the 79 Olympic team.
Oh, really?
As I told you, I was friends with Michael Rizzioni.
Yeah.
He came down to I don't know if you can see the signatures on there.
I can see some of them. Yeah, that I can definitely see there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Nice. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful.
They don't make them like that no more.
No, you need to get that sucker framed and displayed, brother.
Yeah. Well, I was young and I ended up playing with it. I put my name on it. Who knows? This thing is probably priceless, and I was stupid enough to play with it. But anyway,
what can you do? We all do. We all do.
Now they're $200, and that's why Ekblad breaks his stick every time.
Yeah, right. I like literally every time. A kid can't get a shot on goal without breaking the stick.
$400 for a stick, you'd think it'd last.
Oh,
so anyway,
So what do you think? You happy with the Spencer Knight news at least?
You know what? I've been so busy with work and dealing with my back issues. I was always what did I miss with Spencer Knight?
All right, so we had to clear some cap space for Duke to come back. So we sent Tierney and Deanisenko back down, and then they finally got it through their thick skull that Spencer Knight needed to be at the AHL level to play some games. So they moved him down and they brought Lyon up.
Good.
So
that's what I wanted. Good.
Yeah, that absolutely had to happen, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
so go ahead.
I think that if Lyon's coming up, Duclair's coming back, Bennett's coming back. I mean, everything is looking up. We've been given a hell of a chance with this schedule we have with all of our home games. I mean, it couldn't get any better. Our injuries are coming back. I think Duclair is going to bring speed to the team. Hopefully, we got enough games for it to kick in with everybody else.
Right.
But if he's moving fast with the puck, the rest of his line's got to move fast with the puck, and hopefully it will catch on to the rest of the lines.
Yeah. And then the other thing Stu said, the coach said today they're going to move Barkov down because his hand's not healed yet,
right?
Whatever that injury is. So it'll be interesting to see how the lines mesh, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't know.
Never know with this team this year.
What's that?
You never know with this team this year,
Oh, yeah. It has been.
They change stuff before they drop the puck, before the first period,
Yeah, last year it was a lot easier. You just knew those are the 12 guys, and unless somebody was hurt, and
even when we got down by 4 or 5 goals, we were like, "Oh, don't worry, we got it."
Well, the playoff game, the game against Washington, where we came back, I was texting with Matthias, and he sent me what I did. I said it in the video. It was the smiley winky face, right? It was we're losing. I think it was 3-0 that we came back from, right?
And I think it was 3-0.
He sent me he sends me this text. He says, I had a dream last night that the game was high scoring, and then he followed up with a smiley winky face. And he never does that. So when he did that,
we scored like 7 goals that game, I think. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember the score. I know we came back and won, and it was a high scoring game.
I remember. I was just trying to remember the score.
But it was expected, like you're saying. It was totally expected.
And then we just blew out when we got to the playoffs. But
well, when we got to Tampa.
Tampa, we did play good against Washington, like you were saying.
Yeah, we played well enough. So if they make it this year, do you have more confidence in this team than you did last year? Because I know it's 2 totally different teams, but what do you think?
Man, that's a hell of a question. I mean, the only thing I can say is I have hope because of how we just crashed last year.
Right.
I mean, I can't say, I think we're going to make it all the way. I'm just hoping that we can at least slide in there. I hope we pick up our speed when Duclair comes. I hope we keep running plays, which I saw that they've been starting to run that bumper play with Kachuk and Barkov up in the front of the crease.
Right.
Kachuk off to the side. I think they have Rhino on the other side, so 2 guys are there, so they can just use Barkov as a bumper. You know what I mean? That play works. Kachuk's got to stop the hot dog stuff, trying to go between the legs. It would look great, but he kind of lost the goal for us the other night when he tried that between the legs breakaway he had.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I first saw it. Then when I watched the replay, he kind of had that defenseman coming in from an angle. And I think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he did that because he didn't feel like he had any other time to move it back to the forehand.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what that is used for. But I feel like he could have just put some butter on a nice snapshot,
Right. Yeah, no, I certainly don't disagree that, you know, that's his personality though, right? It's
Oh,
tough.
definitely.
It's you know, when you have the hot girl, you got to let her shake her ass. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
It just is what it is, and you just have to understand that occasionally, you know, she's gonna have too much to drink, and you're gonna have to carry her out of the club, and you just
Yeah, his brother was the same way too.
yeah, yeah, my
Runs in the
uncle.
family.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, what else did you have anything written down that we didn't get to?
Did you see the Larkin penalty the other night where he got
Um,
the misconduct?
no,
The other night,
I didn't.
he basically took his stick and just smashed it right against the other guy. I don't know who the other player was.
Oh, you know what? I did see a video. I saw a clip of a video this morning about that, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
But by his reaction, I think it wasn't meant, to happen. I think it was accidental, but
Right.
I mean, it was a baseball swing.
Wow. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
and he got a 10-minute misconduct for that. But
Yeah, because that's not like his normal style. You know what I mean?
he's like on fire right now too. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We got a lot of competition for this spot. You know.
Yes, we do. I mean, the whole East and West, it's the same. Everybody's. It's like, but
Yeah.
the wild card spot.
Yeah, no, it's completely different from last year. Last year, I mean, it was all done and over. You know what I mean? Other than the
Like
seeding.
how Boston is right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Everybody's playing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying everybody's playing for second place at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then the Panthers are going to sneak in. We'll get the 8th seed, and we're going to take care of Boston. That's coming.
I was telling my buddy that's a big Boston fan that I said I would much rather play you guys than anybody else. Toronto, Carolina, whoever else. Because we got their number.
Yep. So
kind of messing with them all season, saying, we kind of one of the only teams that own you guys.
Yeah, well, they've lost 8 games, 8 or 9, and 2 of them are to us.
Yeah.
And there's the flip side to that. Sure, we played Tampa really well during the regular season, and then we've lost them twice in the playoffs. So I understand that sentiment, but I'm not afraid of Boston. We match up pretty well against them. I'd rather play them than like the Canes right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're unpredictable, the Canes.
Yeah. They that's a good word for it. So I actually Jameson, I got one more guest, and I know he's from long distance, so that's a good addition here. Any last words for us, bud?
No, go Panthers.
All right, bud.
Keep hope alive.
Yep. Yeah, I feel good, man. I feel good about it. So all right, Nick.
Right. Let's do it.
All right.
Talking,
have a good night. We'll see you, bud.
Too, brother.
All right, so now I really mean it. Now this is for real, the last guest of the night, Jameson. Oh, where'd you go? Okay, there you are. Hey buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Oh man, I got abandoned by Stu, right? And now I smell my steak cooking.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it kind of short. Just want to say my piece. I'm kind of hopping in at the end here. I didn't see much.
That's fine. That's fine, man.
Just want to say, since been liking the channel, you've been huge. Every person who likes the Florida Panthers needs to watch your channel. Subscribe, like it. You and Stu, but everything just awesome, dude. Love it. And I wanted. Have you talked about Spencer much on the live chat?
Well, first off, I appreciate the kind words, man. Genuinely, I absolutely do. And we transacted on some of the jerseys that I have last year. I know the one for sure. If any of you have watched the videos where I wear some of the jerseys, Jameson's definitely responsible for some of that material. So, now in terms of Spencer Knight, obviously, I'm happy that Bill's watching the show and listening to us again, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needed to happen. You know what I mean? All joking set aside, I don't know what took him so long, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's it's sensitive with the goalies, right? Because most of it is right here.
Yep.
I was kind of in the camp to keep him up, give Bob the starts, and just kind of, hopefully get his momentum back. Just have him with the team, like just bring him back, have the team support him a little bit. But that doesn't always translate to success and him having a good start. I think, as they say, the first 10 minutes of his next game, whatever he plays, if it is this season, is going to tell a lot. If he lets in a bad goal at the beginning, that could be bad for him. But I said in one of the comments, he's played well enough to earn his contract. 4.5, yeah, that's starting money. Obviously, we're paying Bob a boatload for the next few years, but it's just I think of like kind of Thatcher Demko, what we've seen here in Vancouver. He's getting 5.5, and he's locked in for another 3 years. And like these young goalies, man, it's weird with the goalies thing where it's like you gotta see it through till they're getting close to 30, because that's when they usually do kind of peak, right? So I mean, it's the long game with these goalies, like I said. So we'll see.
It's so tough in this position we're in, and it's funny because usually when something happens in sports and the fans freak out or ask what the hell's going on, and we say, and usually the problems that we predict are going to happen don't happen, right? But this, when we got Bob and Spencer basically at the same time, we all kind of were like, well, what's going to happen when Knight is ready? I mean, that's a $10 million we're paying over here, and you just go and take this great goalie product. What's going to happen, And the kid needs to play, and that's the hard part. Is that it's hard to be critical, on the kid when he's not playing, and it really does go to show you, like Duke is going to come back, right?
Yeah.
He's a skater. He's going to be a little bit rusty, okay, but his fundamentals aren't going to have just gone right down the toilet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where with the goalie, like a young goalie like Spencer, he doesn't play for a month and he comes back. He looks like a kid playing in high school. I mean, his angles are off. He's like all of it. All of the progress is just like gone. And so that's tough. And when we put him out there, when we pulled Bob the other night, people on the stream were like, okay, maybe this will be good, right? Maybe he'll lead a comeback and he'll play well, and that'll kind of get him back in. Obviously that didn't happen, but I don't know what they were thinking from the time that he played the 2 games at the AHL level, right? And then they brought him back and said, well, he's not ready yet. It's like, well, why is he up? Right? That's the thing. I haven't gotten that. I'll let you have the next word there.
And all the mystery with the injury, what was going on with him. I don't like how they handle that at all.
Right.
I know you don't want to be totally transparent with what's going on with your players, but we weren't getting to it straight. But the reason, and I just wanted to give some backup. The reason, and maybe some of the fans know who I say in the chat all the time. I'm from Vancouver, obviously a Canucks fan.
Yep.
I started liking the Panthers younger when Roberto was on the team the first time, because I played hockey growing up. I loved goalies and stuff like that. And then he got traded to Vancouver, and I'm like, hey, like we got this goalie that I love. And then he got traded back to the Panthers, and I'm like, okay, like I'm a Florida Panthers fan now. There's a lot to talk about, and obviously not going to talk about it, but there's so much between those two organizations, as far away as they are.
Oh yeah.
You talk about Burr,
Markstrom.
Lou, Markey,
Markstrom,
right? Markstrom, who we let slip between our fingers too.
That was.
And so I mean, there is some of the Canucks fans. Not going to keep you. I don't have too much to say. Go get your dinner. But I am going to say Kyle's doing a great job on some of the on all the live streams, but some of the ones back in late December and November, you weren't feeling so great.
When I was sick,
yourself. He's just doing a great job. I've told him before, I'm going to send him like a little package like I sent you last year. I'm going to send some Canucks stuff and a jersey for him and all that. So,
man, that's
send you an
cool.
Email. Yeah,
that's cool. All right, bud. Well, I really appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's that's one of my favorite jerseys is the Vancouver jersey. So, All right, bud. Really appreciate it, boy. I am. My energy level is just boom. It's something. There's like hormones. It's like my head is like, don't you smell that steak, dude? Right? And the brain is just like, we're gonna dot exe you if you don't go eat your food. So, all right, man. Really appreciate it, Jameson, and yeah, we'll see you. All right, bud.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers.
No worries, bud. All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right, that's going to conclude. That's going to conclude this version of Florida Panther Fans Have Your Say. I really appreciate everybody coming out. I am loopy. I need to go eat, so that's what I'm going to go do. You guys know the drill. Podcast tomorrow. I have more video out tomorrow. If you're interested in learning about my shark attack, that's the video I put out today. So, hey, Hamburger Hut. All right, guys. I am out. I really appreciate all the support. You guys know it, feel it. Got one more day off, and then we'll go kick some Buffalo ass on Friday. Appreciate it all, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow.